All right, so welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. As always, you've got Keith, Chris, and Adam. Alex is here in spirit tonight. He's got a couple of things he's got to don't get to doing. So
he's being a good husband.
He's being a good husband tonight. That's right. So we're going to go over if we think Deebo can be the next 1,000 man to get 1,000 receiving yards and 1,000 rushing yards. He wouldn't be the first to do it, but he would be the first wide receiver to actually do the feat to get 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards in one season.
This is quite the feat.
It's a huge
receiver. For a receiver to do it, this will be quite the feat. Do I think he has the capabilities to do it? San Francisco's got the offense to do it. After seeing what he did this year, I think teams are going to key in on him more. I think that's what's going to hinder him a little bit.
Right.
So
it's not going to be as much of a trick or gadget play next year. It's going to be more, hey, we got to spy this guy, keep somebody on him so we can make sure he doesn't bust off a 60-yard run.
Yep. So all right, so Chris just did the math. 59 yards a game, both running and receiving is what you got to average.
Yeah. I mean, he had 1,400 yards receiving this year, so I don't think the
I don't think receiving is the problem.
Is ever going to be the problem.
No, but it's the 1,000 rushing.
It'll be the 1,000 rushing, yeah. And I mean,
how many rushing yards did he have this year?
He had 365. He only had 59 carries. He averaged about 22 yards a game rushing, so he would really need to up that.
He'd have to double that.
Yeah.
Well,
he'd have to
a little more than double, like 2.5,
But he averaged almost 4 yards a carry.
So the problem I see with it, though, is one, if you do it enough, people are going to pick up on it. And two, they really ran him more so this year because they had a need for it. Because they were so hurt at running back. Especially when the rookie when Elijah Mitchell got hurt and didn't play a couple of games. That's where he took off and did a couple of those big games. But
I mean, San Fran's with Kyle Shanahan is always going to be a run-first team. And they've stacked up 7 running backs in that.
Well, they've got them all. And they've got the blocking schemes to be able to open the holes and have that done.
Yeah, it's just about how they weren't healthy at running backs.
Right.
So. But I think Deebo turns the needle and he gets that offense going. And so it isn't a surprise that this conversation has kind of started to happen. I saw it on Twitter today. They were talking about Percy Harvin being the one that kind of was the trendsetter for Deebo. Let's be clear. Percy Harvin never had a 1,000-yard receiving season in his career in the NFL in 9 seasons.
The boy was good. I'm not going to say...
He was fast.
Boy was good, yeah.
He had so many injury problems.
He was a better return man than he ever.
I'll give him that.
He was a better return man than
like Devin Hester, but not Devin Hester.
Yeah,
could. Yes.
I mean, Deebo had 8 rushing touchdowns this season. Percy Harvin had 4 his entire career.
Right.
So like, let's not go there, team.
Let's not say he.
But in my opinion, do I get what people are trying to stretch for to get there? Sure, but it'd be cool. I think Deebo had right now in the NFL, Cordell Patterson or Deebo Samuels are the only 2 that have a chance as receivers to kind of get that. Cordell Patterson had a lot of carries this year.
Again, that was because they had so many injuries.
Running backs. Yeah. I mean,
so his thing is, I don't see.
He's just too old too.
Well, I don't see him getting 1,000 yards receiving with what should have been Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, and Kyle Pitts.
The 3 men have accomplished 1,000 feet. All of them are running backs. Y'all want to take any guesses at the 3?
McCaffrey's 1.
McCaffrey's 1. Roger Craig's on the screen, so I'll let y'all have Roger Craig.
You said the other one was around for when...
Well, we were young.
What team?
Played for the Rams.
Falk?
Yeah.
I was going to say, was it this one right here?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
So I would say the only other one I thought would have...
Tomlinson could have had it.
Tomlinson probably could have had it,
yeah. Tomlinson could have had it. I mean,
he had something in green.
LT was just... a stud.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so put it on camera. I'm going to give you his entire career. Will Deebo Samuels ever be able to have 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving in a season?
I would love to say yes, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it'll happen from a wide receiver standpoint. I think he would have to be a predominant running back to be able to.
Because I don't see them giving him the ball because he needs like 15 carries a game.
He would need at least 12, yeah. If he could probably get over 4. He could probably get to 4.4 yards a carry. I think it's probably the max. So he would need 12.
Because that's what I'm saying. That if you need 12 carries at 5 yards a carry would put you at 60
It's
yards.
60 yards. Yeah.
So you need roughly.
Let's just say 12 to 15 carries a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing a little quick math for you. That put him at 52-8.
Yeah,
so
he
He's up to 15 carries a game.
So that's what I'm saying.
I don't see he's going to get that.
Yeah.
Not as a receiver. So that comes out to be. That should also be. Say he only gets 4 yards a carry. That should still be 60 yards.
That's 60 yards.
Yeah.
That's what you. I mean.
15 carries at 4 yards carry.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, just because of the way offenses are changing so much in the NFL, everybody's trying to get an advantage. I think Trey Lance might give a little bit of a triple option threat to that San Francisco offense. And so I'm going to say yes, that Deebo does do it sometime his entire career. And so I think that there's a chance. I think it's going to take maybe in that season it's going to take a big blow-up game for him. Maybe he ends up going for like 140 or something in one game. And so that'll carry him for 2 games. But I'll say yes. I think Kyle Shanahan's smart, and I think offenses are always changing. Everybody's trying to always get an advantage, and I think Deebo could be it.
Like I said, I think they have the weapons and they have the play style to make it happen. And Deebo is the man to make it happen. I think eventually, though, teams will hone in on, like a Patrick Mahomes, like a Lamar Jackson, like, hey, I got to have somebody spy this man no matter where he goes on the field. Somebody's got to be following him to that is your coverage, man. No matter what happens, you're sticking with him.
Okay.
And so I think eventually if you keep running, I don't know, a jet sweep or, a zone read to Deebo out the back, somebody's going to be there to make a play on him.
Yep.
And I don't think he's going to see 15 carries a game or be able to average, 4 carries. Well, 4 yards, on those 15 carries. He may see 10 to 12 in any given game. So you may end up looking at, on a season, I think his best will probably be like 800 yards rushing.
Okay.
I think he'll be but like you're saying though, if he does have a blow-up game where he goes 100, 120 yards and can slack off and be like, yeah, I only got 35 this game, that's all right. But he's got to have blow-up games if he wants to make it happen. I just don't see it happening.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, I see where you're coming from with having Trey Lance as your quarterback, because it does open up the option to have the triple option threat. But that's putting a lot of what if on Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Trey Lance he's not proven yet. I mean, to be honest, he didn't even play his last year of college before he got drafted.
Yeah.
So, I think he has a better shot of throwing for 1,000 yards and receiving 1,000 yards than he does rushing 1,000 yards.
Okay.
Could it happen? I could see it happening. Will it probably happen? I don't think it's going to happen unless he's a predominant running back in that system.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here first. We got 1 yes and 2 no's on if Deebo Samuels could ever be a 1,000 guy in the NFL. Let us know in the comments what you think. As always, make sure you're commenting, and subscribing. And we appreciate the support. Yeah.